A third is an irrational root. That just means it's a number where we take the square root or the cubed root or the fourth root, whatever root it may be, and it does not turn out to be an exact number. So for example, the square root of 2 is 1.41421, and it goes on and on and on. Now, if we leave the answer as the square root of 2, that's a third, it means that's the exact answer. This answer has been rounded, it's not exact. So it's a way of expressing answers in an exact form. I've listed here the square numbers. Now you should recognise those square numbers. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25. So if I take the square root of any of those numbers, I know exactly what the answer is. So if we're asked to simplify any other root, what we've got to do is we've got to look to see if any of those numbers divide into, any of those square numbers divide into the number that I've got. So I want to work out or simplify root 8. So I'll look down this list to see what's the biggest number that divides into 8. Now I get down here and I can see that 4 is the first one that divides into it. I then write that as the square root of 4 multiplied by 2. I split the root sign and that becomes the square root of 4 multiplied by the square root of 2. But 4 was a square number, so I know the answer to that. The square root of 4 is 2, so that becomes 2 times root 2. Now I do not need to write that times between them, so simplified that is 2 root 2. Next one, the square root of 75. So I'm going to start and go down the list until I find the biggest number that divides into it. 49 doesn't divide into it, 36 doesn't divide into it, 25 divides into 75 and it goes 3 times. So 75 is the square root of 25 multiplied by 3. Split the root sign, so square root of 25 times the square root of 3. Square root of 25 I know is 5, so that breaks down to 5 root 3. Next one, the square root of 300. So if I look at all my square numbers, the biggest square number that divides into it is 100. So that becomes the square root of 100 multiplied by 3. Break your root sign, so root 100 multiplied by the square root of 3. But we know the square root of 100 because it is a square number and it is 10. So when we've simplified all of that, it's 10 root 3s. Square root of 18. Looking down the list, the biggest number that divides into 18 is 9, so that becomes the square root of 9 times 2. Break your root sign, becomes the square root of 9 times the square root of 2. Square root of 9 I can do it as a square number, so it becomes 3 root 2s. Square root of 72. Look right down the list, checking to see which ones divide into it. I get to 36. 36 divides into 72, it goes twice. So it's 36 multiplied by 2. Break the root sign, and it becomes the square root of 36 times the square root of 2. So square root of 36 is 6, so my answer is 6 root 2s. Square root of 125. So square root of 125, if you look down the list, the biggest number, square number that divides into 125 is 25. So that becomes 25 multiplied by, it goes 5 times. Split the root sign, so it's the square root of 25 multiplied by root 5. And we know the square root of 25 is 5, so the answer is 5 root 5s.